Are you happy with your results in 2023 in business? If you're a multi-six-figure or seven-figure business owner, you can often get caught up in being busy, and now is a really great time to reflect as we get towards the end of the year. And I find that there's really people in three boats. There's people who are really proud of what they've achieved, they've crushed their goals, potentially their goals have far exceeded their expectations. There's those who find themselves in a position where maybe they did okay, but maybe they just were treading water over the last 12 months and they didn't really progress to the level that they really thought that they could at this stage of the game. And there's those people who have been really impacted and had a rough trot over the course of the last 12 months and are considering whether they should continue to maintain their business and doing things the way that they have, or they should throw in the towel and potentially try something else. I'm going to give you a couple of insights around what I do at this time of year in terms of my strategic planning so I can make sure that I can continue to grow and scale my business and find myself in that first camp where I can make sure that I'm growing and scaling every year. So there's basically 7 things that I focus on when I do my annual review in my business. The first thing I look is I check profit. Business is tough and there's various things that shift and change, whether it be market conditions, whether it be inflation, whether it be the cost of labour, the cost to serve, whatever it might be. And all of these things can be a universal tax on your business and consume the lifeblood that is your profit and your cash flow. By understanding and checking profit, I can review my financial model and look for opportunities to increase price, to optimize cost, and make sure that I'm keeping money in my pocket. Number 2 is cut tax. As we know, the taxman likes to put their hand in our pockets, and we need to pay our fair share, but we want to make sure we're not paying any more than our fair share. So I look at opportunities to review my tax structure, make sure I've got a proactive tax plan so there's never any surprise tax bills, and I ensure that I get good advice from my tax advisor to make sure that I'm never paying any bonuses to the ATO. I see so many business owners not optimizing their tax or finding themselves in hot water because they don't have the right tax plan. 3 is check numbers. I look for opportunities to review my lead and lag metrics. I look at how many leads I've got, my conversion rate from leads into sales calls, my conversion rate from sales calls into new clients, the average value of my clients, the lifetime customer value, and obviously looking at things like understanding my business's value, which I'll get into shortly. And the idea of checking these numbers is it allows me to understand how through the changes in markets and digital marketing, client attraction, and what our clients and prospects are looking for, it allows me to understand how I can reverse engineer these numbers to work out how I achieve my goals into the future. For example, if I need to get 100 leads in order to achieve my business goals now, if I want to double my business, well, I could double my leads, or I could look for opportunities to improve the conversion rate from stage to stage. I could also increase my lifetime customer value by buying other businesses that allow me to add more value to those clients in different ways, therefore allowing me to capture a share of wallet. So understanding and checking those numbers is critically important. Number 4 is cover assets. So we want to make sure that in business we are taking risks, right? And we want to make sure that we are managing those risks effectively. Covering assets is about making sure that we've got the appropriate tax structure, that we're buying our investments and building wealth in the appropriate structures, and that we're understanding our risk management strategy, whether it be our self-insurance strategy, having a really good war chest, working capital that ensures that we can cover against the unforeseen, or outsourcing our risk by way of risk transfer to insurance companies or using other mechanisms. Number 5 is cranking business value. I see so many business owners not putting a value on their business or overestimating the true value of their business because of the emotional equity that they place on their business. The important part here is about understanding what is the valuation methodology of your business. Every business has one, every industry has one, and this allows you to then work out, well, okay, based on what my business is worth right now, what are the value multipliers? What could I do over the next 12 months to improve the value of my business? And that's largely going to come from 2 ways. One is about increasing your EBITDA, or your earnings before interest, tax, depreciation, and amortization. And 2 is about reducing key person risk, of making sure that that business is more saleable because it is less dependent on you. Now we've got control cash flow. So, should have come earlier, but cash flow is the lifeblood of all businesses. So what we want to do is we want to understand, well, what is your cash conversion cycle in your business? Are there cash flow bottlenecks, as we call it, that are getting in the way of you producing the kind of cash flow that you want? Are you frustrated because your profit and loss doesn't align with your bank account? And do you have the appropriate cash flow structure in your business that allows you to not only make the money, but hold on to it and make it work for you? And lastly, we've got create lifestyle. We're in business to create lifestyle. This is the reason why I am able to call this beautiful place home, is because this is the lifestyle that I've created for myself. We want to make sure that our business is a vehicle for enabling that lifestyle. We want to define, what does that lifestyle look like? Where do you want to live? How do you want to make sure that you can maintain that lifestyle with peace of mind and certainty? How do you pay off all of your debts? And how do you build enough passive wealth so you've got the freedom and flexibility to live life on your own terms? Now, this is a crash course at how I go about all of my planning. If you're interested in finding out more, I've actually got a 40-point financial performance scorecard that covers all of these 7 segments. And we put together a really cool report that actually shows you exactly what you can do in the areas that you need to focus in order to improve your score lightning fast. So if you're interested, feel free to hit me up. I've also got a link in my bio. See you on the other side.